Joining me now on set is NBC's Garrett Haake, who's been following the story for us. So let's first, Garrett, talk about Walt Nauta. He's been arraigned. This was 3 weeks after his alleged co-conspirator Donald Trump was arraigned. And he now finally has local counsel, which was an issue at one point. What do we know about her, and what are the next steps in the case?
Sasha Didun is the name. She's not someone who'd popped up on our radar previously. She doesn't have a lot of kind of high-profile federal trial experience. She's a bit of a jack-of-all-trades defense lawyer down in South Florida. She ran for the Florida State House in 2018. You know, she's a Republican. But beyond that, there's not much to say about her, except she does practice pretty regularly in Fort Pierce, where we expect this trial will move forward with Judge Aileen Cannon sitting there. Still no date for when it'll move forward. The original plan, obviously, was August. The government's asked to push that back until December. If you were a betting person, I would consider taking the over on this, as nobody involved has the security clearances they need yet either, so it could be a while. And
the Trump legal strategy is often to delay as much as possible. So that's obviously one of the many legal problems the former president is dealing with. I'm interested in your take on this. The fact that the special counsel is now looking into what happened in Arizona. There's been talk that even the governor there was pressured similarly to what happened to the governor in Georgia. We spent a lot of energy focused on Georgia, but is this a significant development that Arizona is now part of this conversation?
I think it is, and I think it's a good reminder that we should just think differently about this case in general. I think the shorthand, at least here in Washington, has been that the special counsel's had two cases, right? The documents and the January 6th case. But when you see the people that the special counsel has interviewed in states like Georgia and Arizona and Michigan and these other places, and this fake electors part of the puzzle here, it's clear that what they're investigating, at least, and it may not be what they charge, is much broader than that. It's this sort of fulsome effort to overturn the election that goes back much farther and extends much wider than what happened here in D.C. in just the days leading up to January 6th. And so I think this focus, at least as we're learning about it now in Arizona, is very interesting. Whether it tells us anything about the timing, whether they're closer or further away, given kind of the broader scope than I think what a lot of people understood as recently as a few weeks ago, is an open question. But it's definitely interesting, and I think it should, definitely concern anybody who was involved in that broader plot that the special counsel's not stopping at the Potomac River.
Yeah, it's playing out so similar to the Select Committee's investigation, which we thought at that time was just about the violence on that day, and became a much broader look into the efforts to overturn the election as well. Give us the view from inside the Trump campaign. You talk to that team every single day. They're certainly putting on a brave face, acting like this is actually politically beneficial for the president. He's raised a bunch of money over the past cycle. Is that the same feeling behind closed doors, or are they starting to feel like the walls are closing in?
No, look, by and large, they're pretty happy with where they are right now. I don't think there's any question that the indictments so far have served Donald Trump's short-term aims, and that's how he's always operated. He is a creature of short-term kind of survive and advance success. Right now, they've been able to raise a ton of money, $35 million across the PAC and the campaign, which is going to lead all comers in the Republican field. And they've been able to effectively block out the sun politically. No other candidate's getting any coverage of any note right now other than Donald Trump, good or bad. That's the way he likes it. And if you're the front runner, the functional incumbent within the Republican Party, that's a position you want to be in. I will say that the feeling within Trump's orbit has always been that Georgia was the case that kind of made them more nervous. It's something that's much easier to understand, certainly, than the New York case. It's something that has much higher stakes than the classified documents case, potentially. And it's outside of his control in the sense that even if he were elected president again, he cannot pardon himself in the state of Georgia. So that's the one that has always been kind of the most concerning to the Trump campaign, or to Donald Trump and those close to him, which are sort of two separate entities in how we should think about this. But by and large, they're perfectly happy with where they are right now. They have the right enemies, which in some cases is exactly what you want, especially in a Republican primary.
We won't get into the former president calling the prosecutor that's looking into his case a crackhead.
That's probably for the best.
Which I'm not even sure even you'd be able to explain. So
that I could.
Garrett, thank you so much.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.